Why, hello there, everyone. Early this morning / late last night for me, we got a Feitan gameplay trailer, which was revealed at Japan Expo in Paris, France. And this isn't a character reveal per se, but it is the first time we're seeing gameplay, right? Because for some reason, he was revealed in the Crollo trailer, even though it showed no gameplay for him. So now we can finally see what his gameplay is like. And this is actually my second time recording this reaction / breakdown of the trailer, because I actually did record an analysis early this morning when it was initially revealed. But then right as I went to upload it, my internet went out because of a storm. And it took a long time for it to come back. And I'm streaming today, so I figured, well, if I'm streaming today anyway, I might as well just redo it on stream with a live audience. So I've already seen this before, but there are still some important observations to make here. Or maybe one very big observation to make. So let me restart this. Also, this is the first time I actually get to see the subtitles, because when I watched it, it was only re-uploaded to the Arc System Works, or it was only re-uploaded to the Bushiroad channel, so it didn't have English subtitles. I still think Feitan is a pretty surprising pick here. So we see some regular Magic series combo stuff here. Nothing too fancy yet, right? That was a wall bounce, by the way. Which seems to be kind of a common trend amongst the last few characters that were revealed. A lot of these characters seem to have wall bounces. Crollo, Machi, Uvo, now Feitan. Gon's out of frame here because they're zooming in for some reason, but you can see Gon bounces right here. And you can also hear it as well. Okay. That might look familiar to some people, but I don't want to spell it out until we get to some of the more obvious stuff. Also, that right there. I do want to shout out his teleport animation with the umbrella, because I still think it's very strange they picked Feitan over Nobunaga. So I'm glad that they are taking advantage of some of the unique stuff that you can do with Feitan, such as, you know, with the umbrella opening up as a teleport animation. I think that's a cool way to adapt that, because Nobunaga wouldn't have anything like that. So that makes Feitan, you know, at least visually more interesting. Also, this trailer on Arc System Works America is not 60 FPS for some reason, and I just realized that. And also the bitrate is extremely low. So I wonder if this was just captured from, I was going to say the live stream from Paris, but that can't be the case because it wouldn't have the English subtitles. Which is weird because on Bushiroad's re-upload, it is 60 FPS. But if you guys want to see the 60 FPS gameplay, just go watch it on the actual Bushiroad channel, right? I don't feel like switching videos. You are Chain Dude? Are you Spider? Okay, so I don't know how much effort they're putting into the localization of this game, specifically in the translations, because in the Crollo trailer, I never pointed it out in my analysis, but in the Crollo trailer, there's a pretty obvious typo where he says this ... I just what I need instead of is just what I need. So hopefully they fix that one. You know, obviously, you are Chain Dude and you are Spider, or are you Spider? That's not a grammatical error. It's just kind of awkward. It's just reminding me to mention the typo in the Crollo trailer. So I hope it doesn't launch like that, because even though it doesn't really matter and it wouldn't bother people like me very much, it is going to make the game come across as a little cheap to some people that would care about that sort of thing. So hopefully they fix that before the game launches. Anyway. So right here. So to the initiated, to the people that have played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or even if you've only played Devil May Cry, this should look immediately familiar, because this is Judgment Cut. This is Virgil's Judgment Cut. And a couple of the special moves we saw earlier were also Virgil moves. We saw Helmbreaker when Feitan went straight down. I forget the name of the move in which he spins. I think it's Crescent Slash or something. Let me go back. This trailer's only not even a minute long. So I think that's called Crescent Slash. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Helmbreaker. Also, I'm trying to look for a move that I pointed out on my previous recording. Right there. I think that might be a Rekka, that multi-hit move into the wall bounce, which will come back later. The reason I say that might be a Rekka is because we see a different follow-up afterwards, but it could just be a button with multiple hits. I myself never actually played Virgil, so I'm only going to recognize the visual stuff. I won't be able to recognize if something feels like Virgil from a mechanical standpoint of actually pulling it off, right? Because I refused to play Virgil in Marvel 3, even though he's awesome. Yeah, so there's Judgment Cut. The first part whiffs, but Kurapika lands in it. Yeah, there's Helmbreaker again. Yeah, see, there's that, I think that's the same multi-hit move, but this time he cancels it into a super. He gets Pain Packer. They made a 3D model for his weird suit. And it's impossible to tell from this trailer, but I really hope that Pain Packer is in some way tied to Feitan's damage taken, is tied in some way to his missing health. Because on the Crollo analysis, on the Crollo trailer analysis I uploaded, I was mentioning how since uploading my roster prediction video, I thought of the idea of maybe making Pain Packer like the Baroque mechanic from TVC. But then somebody in the Crollo trailer analysis comments reminded me of something that I remembered immediately after posting the Crollo trailer analysis. And that is the fact that this game already has a universal Baroque mechanic in it. So Feitan wouldn't be unique for having a Baroque mechanic with Pain Packer, but you could still do something with Pain Packer to make it more of a unique super, because even if it's just going to pretty much be like a normal super, you could still have it scale based on his missing health, right? If you want to be extremely lore accurate, he shouldn't be able to use the super at all if he's at max health. But even if they just did something like making it where it does very little damage when he's healthy and it starts doing exponentially more and more damage based on his missing HP, I think that would be a really cool way to adapt it, because why else would you put Feitan in the game if you're not going to do some kind of unique gimmick with the Pain Packer, right? Again, it's impossible to tell with this trailer, but I really hope that it does have something to do with his missing HP. And I don't know if I'm entirely confident that they're going to do it, because we've already seen with Kurapika, he's able to use Change Ale on non-spiders without Kurapika himself getting killed. And also, we've seen indoor fish being used outdoors. So we know that they're willing to break the lore a little bit, but I hope this is one thing that they're not going to smudge, because there's no reason to smudge it, right? You could just have the super scale with missing HP. But anyway, that's Feitan. I think it's really funny that he is the Virgil archetype, because, again, I was expecting somebody like Nobunaga over Feitan. And if Nobunaga were in the game, he totally would have been like Virgil, right? That would have been way more expected. So seeing that Feitan is in the game and he's the sword user already by itself decreases the chances of Nobunaga getting in tremendously. But now seeing that Feitan plays pretty much like Virgil, seeing that he plays pretty much exactly how you would expect a Nobunaga to play, I think that 100% deconfirms Nobunaga from ever getting in, because now adding Nobunaga would be really redundant unless they come up with something really interesting with his infield. And my speculation is that maybe the developers immediately knew when they started making this game that they wanted a sword character and they wanted a Virgil archetype, right? So they must have immediately thought of Nobunaga, but I'm thinking maybe they avoided adapting Nobunaga because maybe that would have been too obvious of a pick. Maybe they wanted to flex their creativity a bit more by doing Feitan, since Feitan is a bit more unique. Feitan has a bit more of a gimmick than Nobunaga, right? I'm just trying to imagine it from the perspective of the developers, of a creative behind something like this. You wouldn't really want to pick somebody that would be super easy to adapt. You know, it could just come across as a little too obvious. Adapting Feitan might have been more fun for them. That's the only reason why I can imagine it. I'm also wondering if maybe they're just purposefully making a lot of these characters reminiscent of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 characters as a way to specifically appeal to the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 people. Because Virgil, love him or hate him, he's definitely a very big part of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And even if you hate him, I'm sure you love to hate him, right? So maybe they're trying to appeal to some people's nostalgia. It's weird saying nostalgia because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 isn't even that old of a game. But for lack of a better term, maybe they're trying to appeal to these Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players' nostalgia by showing you these characters with very similar movesets. Because with this game not being particularly flashy, you know, with this game getting a lot of bad PR right now, with it lacking in flash a little bit, they're probably banking on this game being well-liked by Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom players, you know, hardcore fighting game players. They're probably really banking on that. So maybe by making a character this similar to Virgil, that's them specifically really targeting that audience. But also, I wonder, maybe since this game has a low budget, maybe Aiding just really wanted to play it safe by pretty much making as many characters as possible similar to movesets that they've already developed. So that way it's a bit more tried and true, right? Because if you're developing Feitan and you want to make him like Virgil, you know that kind of moveset is already tried and true. Although in this case, I hope it's not as OP as Virgil. I know this game is going to have busted top tiers though, but I doubt Feitan specifically is going to be busted in top tier, because with his moveset being so similar to Virgil, I'm sure they're aware of how easy he could become crazy OP, right? So I'm sure they would specifically be conscientious of balancing this character at least. Unless, again, if they want to appeal to the Marvel vs. Capcom people, maybe they're going to make him OP on purpose, because maybe they would consider that part of the nostalgia or something. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think about Feitan, and I will see all of you guys later. So thanks for watching, and bye for now. Okay.